Welcome to today's life hack, and it's really kind of a piece of advice and a sharing of some experience at the same time. I just want to share with you that I've done business all around the world and all throughout my life, and I cannot think of a business deal that I've ever done that didn't require someone to make a commitment of some kind. And there's nothing more devastating and that really destroys business or relationships in life than just committing to do something and then not doing it. I've had so many cases where people said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And some of those things were very speculative, but they were just assuring me that, they're going to do a certain thing and by a certain period of time. And I started really keeping track of, when people would come into my office when I owned a big company that we had offices around the world, and people would say, I'm going to get this done by this date. And I'd write it up on a board, and I'd say, all right, I'm going to hold you to that. Virtually, nobody met their deadlines. Very few people even were able to do the things that they thought that they could do. And that's a very sobering experience, but I think one of the things that people forget, and one of the things that I want to share with you, is that there's an opportunity to be released from a commitment. And besides people not fulfilling the commitments and promises that they make, another even more devastating thing in business, I think that can be even more devastating, is when someone finds out along the way that they can't fulfill their commitments, or they just forget to start fulfilling their commitments, or they just become uninterested for whatever reason, that they know that they're not going to be able to uphold their commitment, and they don't bother to notify you. People forget that they have the right and the permission to ask for permission to be released from the commitments that they make and explain why they need to be released. And there are so many situations I can think of where business deals failed, where if I had just known that the person, if the person would have just let me know or not avoided me when I called them because they were embarrassed because they couldn't produce. A lot of times people will avoid taking that call from you, or they'll fail to reach out to you. And in those situations where people realized that they were unable to produce, if they would have given me some notice, I could have maybe made a new plan and saved the deal. So don't forget that you have the right and the obligation when you make a commitment to ask to be released from a commitment if you don't think that you can fulfill it. And that's the life hack for today. If you do that, you're really giving respect for the other person, and you're showing the other person that your word, you're showing yourself and other people that your word means something. It's not as damaging to ask to be released from a commitment that you made and explain why, or why you won't be able to fulfill it, as it is damaging to just not fulfill it and to not communicate what you know to be true. So that's the life hack for the day: maintaining the integrity of your word, measuring your word by doing what you say you're going to do by when you say you're going to do it. A friend of mine, Mark Steinberg from Creative Consciousness, laid out that lifestyle of integrity, and I've just been using it throughout my whole life to measure people that I'm friends with and do business with, and it's a very accurate measurement. But again, the life hack for today is, don't forget that you have the right and the obligation to ask to be released from commitments that you've made, and the obligation is that to help the other person know that you can't fulfill it. Nothing wrong with that. But by not telling them, you can cause damage. Anyway, that's the life hack for today. Maintaining your integrity. Have a great day.